Ok, siamo già nel turbometa perché le impostazioni sono anche dentro il computer. Pensavo che iniziasse... Oddio, ma è questo il campo visivo 100? Sì, no, mi stava dando un effetto tunnel devastante.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Chi ha scorreggiato?
Ma ti cambia il cursore quando puoi interagire con la roba?
Non credo ci sia un cursore però. Oh, posso cliccare le cose, ma l'ho semplicemente spento.
Quindi in realtà non puoi puntare.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't work. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
E se non lo faccio?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sì. O le apriamo tutte le porte.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Lui non sta approvando per niente quello che abbiamo fatto.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone...
Oh, come ti permetti?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Mi sta fottendo il cervello, ragazzi.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Allora, lui ha detto la prima porta a sinistra. Quindi noi andiamo avanti.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Giusto. Siamo
Un magazzino.
nel magazzino, esattamente. Multa per utilizzo improprio dell'ascensore $1000. Multa per aver saltato dall'ascensore $5000. No. Ma moriamo. Cazzo, però andiamo veramente contro la storia, cioè moriamo. Ho paura che morire adesso non ci porti in fondo.
Dove ti dicevi di non farlo?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
The end is
The end
never...
is never the end, sì.
È davvero horror esistenziale, ragazzi.
Mi sa che però...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Lei?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Però non abbiamo seguito le sue istruzioni. Questo è il nostro premio? Ragazzi, passiamo da questa porta, è completamente buio. È il blackest black.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Appartamento 427
Okay,
qui.
there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Ragazzi, questa cosa era stra creepy. Madonna, che paura che mi fai.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
La morte.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now He's eating lunch.
Capisco cosa stai dicendo. Sta parlando della vita ordinaria che ti appiattisce. Quindi in realtà cioè, è il trip di Stanley questo. Cioè non c'è nessun narratore.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Oh mio Dio, che mindfuck trovare sta cosa per prima. Io premo.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Qui è una lotta contro se stesso. Lui sta premendo i tasti che servono per contraddire il narratore. Seguiamola però, tanto ormai abbiamo premuto. Che trip, ragazzi.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Certo, sono morto. Si va a sinistra.
Dai.
Ok, eccola qua. Meeting room. Non entrare qui
Yet
dentro.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
L'ho chiuso io.
There was nothing here, no choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. Are you really still in the broom closet? Please offer me some explanation here.
Perché c'è Chris! Siamo noi, Chris. Voglio vedere fin quanto va avanti. Grazie Alex Lass di aver regalato a Free Wi-Fi una
Maybe to
sala.
you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending?" I hope your friends find this concerning.
Non l'ha tradotto, ragazzi, ma spero abbiate capito.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. Also, Stanley is a well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what
Dio, sto male.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sfortunatamente per lui c'è una scala che va verso. Aspetta. Che cazzo è l'inferno?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Guarda che continua a intare il fatto che siamo usciti di cervello.
I'm dreaming! Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all, and he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, sto volando.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
No,
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility? Stanley is as awake right now.
Sì, il narratore cerca sempre di far tornare Stanley in sé.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream, so he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. I'm through with this dream. Let me go back to my job. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man.
Si è ucciso. Cosa cazzo sta succedendo, ragazzi? Lei attraverso Stanley capisce di star bene.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. She had no time for this. So it was only a moment that she stood there, and then she turned and ran.